Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to become more magnetic and make others more attracted to you and be approached more. And it's going to be very unexpected, what I'm going to say, because it has nothing to do with looks. And on the contrary, the most beautiful women and the most handsome men are not the ones that get approached the most. One, because people are scared of rejection, because, when you have this gorgeous goddess in front of you or, God in front of you, you are more likely to get rejected by them because they get approached a lot and they have this really, really kind of high pumped sense of ego. And two, because a lot of these really attractive people are usually a bit stuck up. When you're really physically attractive and you kind of identify yourself with this and you find your value in your physical appearance, you become kind of like stuck up and really scared to kind of, be silly, be funny, look stupid, because you're so scared of damaging this really fragile sense of self-worth, which comes from your physical appearance, which is, as we know, very flexible. It can change overnight. You can get pimples on your face or get fat in 2 weeks and your physical appearance can change. So it's really fragile, not to say as you age, so it's a really bad idea for attractive people to actually kind of get their self-validation and self-worth from their physical appearance. But a lot of them do that and they become a bit stuck up. They become a bit kind of like, closed off, a bit walled, and you get a feeling that they're a bit rigid. They're not free to express themselves, to laugh, to say something stupid. They're scared because, as I said before, they don't want to kind of damage this identity that they've formed and how they get their value by, being physically attractive. And people being attracted to them. Now, this is actually in their detriment because when you're combining physical attractiveness with being a bit superior or rigid and, cold, you get someone that's extremely unapproachable and very intimidating. So most people will not even dare to approach them, to look at them. So a lot of beautiful girls complain about this. They're like, no one ever approaches me. And then you get a medium looking guy or girl that gets approached a lot. So what is it about that, average looking Joe or Joanna that makes people attracted to them? Number one, they're extremely warm, approachable. They take themselves too seriously. I don't know if you know a person like this, but try to imagine someone that's like, it's free. It's free to say silly stuff, that is free to joke, to say something stupid. They're not scared and walled up and trying to be perfect to maintain some sense of identity about themselves, to maintain their self-worth. They're actually really free, they're laughing, they're joking, and this attitude, this warmth, this openness makes people so attracted to them because it makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel confident to be themselves. To also be silly, to also say something stupid. They are not scared, to act in a certain way or try to really impress the person and change themselves and, be perfect and say the right thing, which makes them feel really insecure and uncomfortable. They're free to talk, to joke, and it makes people, really, really attracted to these kind of people. Now, that alone can be extremely attractive and make people come to you. But if you want to take it a step further and be even more magnetic and even more attractive, then number two is to have something special about yourself. I was talking to my brother last week and he was telling me, as a guy, you don't have to be handsome. You just need to have a thing. You need to be able to play the guitar or play a sport or be funny or, go to the gym and have a nice body. You just need to have a thing because that thing makes you interesting, makes you intriguing. Not to say that when you have a hobby that you are good at, that you are absorbed in, it really raises your sense of self-confidence, of self-worth, if you know that you're really good at something. And when you're confident about yourself, when you feel like, you know, I'm good at something, and you feel good about yourself, that makes you even more radiant and magnetic. And number 3 is nurturing a sense of self-confidence, of comfort within yourself, a positive attitude towards yourself. Something that is really unattractive is people-pleasing. So being too nice and giving too much to make people like you. You know, when you're trying to overcompensate in this way, people are actually going to think, oh, they're trying to manipulate me, or there's something wrong with them. That's why they're trying too hard. So having this self-assurance about yourself, knowing that you are good enough just the way you are, and you feel comfortable to make decisions, to disagree with someone, you know, in a kind and empathetical way, of course, not by being aggressive, but having your own opinions and being decisive and knowing what you want and what you need is really attractive. Because having this strong sense of self, you know, makes people, especially the ones that don't have such a strong sense of self actually, but others as well, kind of circle and radiate around you. Because when you're like a center of gravity and you know, this is what I think, this is what I want, and you're not scared to express opinions, and you're like confident about yourself, it really draws people in, because a lot of people don't have that and want that for themselves and want to be around someone that, you know, is like a center of gravity and is grounded within themselves. So these were the 3 ways to become more attractive, and why physical beauty and appearance can actually be detrimental to you in many cases. But obviously, not to say that if you are physically beautiful, you cannot get people to be attracted to you. You obviously can, and it can be a positive attribute, but it's important that you use it correctly, that you don't identify yourself with that physical beauty and become too stuck up, and that becomes your identity, and your own sense of self-worth and validation comes from that only. It's like a plus, but your attractiveness comes from within, from your inside. And if you combine looking good with these 3 elements that I talked about, then you're going to be like femme fatale, or, you know, the alpha male that's gonna get all the women and so on. But if you're medium looking, you can also become really attractive, and I've seen it in my personal life. I know a lot of examples, and you can be anyone, but if you have these 3 things, you will become very magnetic. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and give me any suggestions for future videos or questions you may have. Lots of love. Take care.